Kaduna State in the northwest has been a beehive of activity in recent times. After the two-day investment summit, which had captains of industry, traditional rulers, investors, and government officials charting an economic direction for the state, principal officers of the National Assembly converged in the state for a retreat themed Repositioning the National Assembly for Effective Service Delivery. The 8th Assembly has faced criticisms bordering on various issues, from allegations of corruption, financial recklessness, to trivializing of lawmaking processes and bad politicking, that has seen the legislature and the executive disagree on issues of appointments. The administration of President Muhammadu Buhari has consistently beamed its searchlight on issues of corruption and zero tolerance to same. But the governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, sees the National Assembly as an opposition to the fight against corruption.
Legislators into politicians.
His words are tough against what he calls the lack of transparency in the hallowed chambers.
The most important, in my opinion, is observation about the image of the National Assembly and what you can do collectively about it. The National Assembly is perceived, he said, at best as indifferent. I can be more blunt. The National Assembly is seen as an opposition to the fight against corruption. I think Hakeem, because of his job, perhaps is being diplomatic, but I don't work for you, and I can tell you that the National Assembly, particularly the Senate, is seen as one of the fighters of the war against corruption. And this image has to be worked on. If we are going into elections in 2 years, and remember, no writing of results, there is card reader, I think it is in the interest of the leadership and membership of the National Assembly to do something about this narrative. I don't believe it is entirely true. I do not believe it is entirely false either. But in these days of social media, and these young people are all connected to it, I think it's very, very important that the National Assembly does something about its image. Some steps can be taken. More transparency in your budgets, for instance. Nobody knows your budget. Nobody knows how much you get paid. So publications are made about your salaries and allowances that I do not believe are true, but cannot be defended because there is no transparency about your budgeting or your personnel cost and so on and so forth. I think you can do something about that to clear all the rumors and remove all the evil stories that are largely untrue. And here again, I think the bureaucracy of the National Assembly has a role to play. We are politicians. We are here for 4 years and we leave. The National Assembly, of course, has no time limit, but we do things and we go. And the high turnover in the National Assembly, the last time I checked, about 80% of the members of the National Assembly don't get re-elected. Because of this high turnover, your role as bureaucrats of the National Assembly is even more important than in the executive branch, because the turnover in the executive branch is much, much lower than in the National Assembly. And I think that unless you try to work on some of these issues, the National Assembly will continue to get an unfair image in the minds of the public, and that doesn't help anyone.
In December 2016, President Buhari presented a budget estimate of 7.298 trillion naira, or 20.4% higher than the 2016 estimate to the joint sitting of the National Assembly. Four months down the line, the budget awaits passage as Nigerians groan under the harsh economic crisis and infrastructural deficit.
For a political office holder, the only way you can succeed with integrity is to have an independent bureaucracy that will tell you the truth. So, Mr. Speaker, I would like to encourage you and the Senate President to make the National Assembly bureaucracy not only independent, but also encourage them to tell you when they think you're going the wrong way. It is only a competent bureaucracy, an independent bureaucracy, one that is encouraged to tell the truth to political masters, that will keep us political office holders honest and also keep us safe. Because after I left office as Minister of FCT, I was the subject of investigations, many would say persecution, by the administration that succeeded us. My only saving grace was the competence of the FCT bureaucracy that ensured that everything was done properly in accordance with rules.
Governor El-Rufai's words may have triggered a response from the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, who announced that the National Assembly leadership has already passed instructions to the appropriate quarters to publish its annual budget for transparency and accountability.
Aye. Those against say nay, the ayes have it.
He challenges state governors to do same, especially as it concerns the different allocations received from the central government.
We have already instructed the leadership of the bureaucracy to publish the budget details of the National Assembly. And we appreciate those who have put forth a struggle to ensure that we achieve this level of transparency. I must concede the fact that no parliament anywhere can win the popularity contest. It's not possible. And Nigeria's case cannot be different. You will be having some kind of misfortune if you attempt to join the issues with intellectuals such as my elder brother, the governor. But as intellectuals will expand issues, we will add to the issues for discussion. And I would like to challenge him to champion this call for transparency on budgetary process from the National Assembly to other arms of government. Judiciary first. We want to see clearly too how chief executives of states, how they are paid, what do they spend monthly as security votes? And if they can jointly publish, what happens to local government funds under their jurisdiction? That, Excellency, will help our discussion going forward. I should like to commend the management and the entire staff of the National Assembly for their resilience in servicing the institution over the years under difficult and trying times. Confident that manpower development programs such as this will serve as a necessary stimulus to serve the institution, nation, and indeed humanity even better.
I'm glad to bear eloquent testimony and quickly register appreciation for the fact that the Senate President and the Honorable Speaker are always and ever ready to grant us audience and cooperation in what we do in order to ensure a very cordial and conducive working relationship. I've been reliably assured by them that they will grant us all that we may need to do our jobs more efficiently and effectively within available resources and human possibilities. We are indeed very grateful. I'm also pleased on record the unprecedented and good working relationship that exists within the National Assembly Service Commission, headed by a retired and quintessential civil servant, Dr. A.M. Fika, MNI, a former clerk to the National Assembly, whose toiling effort has made our work very seamless and productive. I've been assured by the Commission that it will continue giving us the support to actualize our vision and realize our goals. In this respect, the Commission and management will work together as much as possible to, one, depoliticize the National Assembly service, truly professionalize the workforce, introduce and sustain recruitment and selection procedures to attract and retain the brightest and the best, and establish an efficient process for regular advancement and promotion of actually eligible officers taking into account career progression, vacancies, and merit. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as a fallout of our engagement with the Commission and in alignment with this retreat and its outcome, I'm pleased to announce that in accordance with Section 14(4) of the National Assembly Service Commission Act, additional directorates have been created, bringing the total number of directorates to 9. While some directorates have been restructured, some new departments have been created, and some realigned. The process of creating additional ones is ongoing. To whom much is given, much is expected. Arising from the charge and commitment of the presiding officers of the National Assembly and the Corporation of National Assembly Commission, I want to enjoin you all, my colleagues, and admonish us to rededicate ourselves and redouble our efforts to justify the confidence that has been so reposed in us in our service delivery. After this retreat, we are expected to be diligent and assiduous in the way we work and render our services. I must also enjoin you as leaders in our respective departments that we must sharpen our viewpoint so as to enable us focus on what is relevant, and at the same time broaden our spheres to encompass other aspects of our situation at work, thereby accommodating the people we are serving.
Governor El-Rufai accepts the challenge thrown at governors by the Speaker of the House of Representatives. He releases his salary allowances, security budget, as well as disbursements to the 23 local government councils of the state. In the February pay slip of the governor, his monthly total net pay is put at 470,521.71 naira after deductions. Governor El-Rufai states that he had consistently made the budget of the state public. According to his disclosures, 1.5 billion naira is for the procurement and installation of CCTV cameras, 193 million naira for the procurement of geoposition interceptor and location of GSM UMTS system, 265 million naira for the procurement of drone unmanned aerial vehicles. 2.6 billion naira allocated in the state's 2017 budget is to support the network of federal security agencies in the state.